press the button. Is it live? You are live.
Wow, gosh, that was quite an epic morning. So a big hello to everybody. How are you doing? Unfortunately, we're in the B location, in the Cupboard Monkey's lair. Oops. Oh, I'm getting an advert on my phone. So basically, the loft computer decided that this morning it would misbehave.
So Jenny broke it. You did. You turned it off.
Anyway,
you
stop.
broke it.
Stop moaning and go and look at it.
You smell.
Go and look at it.
You love to break things. You love it. You love it. You love it. So you nicked my office. I was working. Bye.
Yeah, go and fix the other computer. So, right. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the Cupboard Monkey's lair. This feels weird. I'm like really sat right up to the screen. So who have we got in? We've got Finnerton Central Model Railway, Ben Davis, Angus's Trains, long time no see. It's great to see you. Hope I find you well this morning. Finnerton Central Model Railway, Iron Horse Heathen, Ben Davis, Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says it's too early to gronk it up. That's why the gronk is misbehaving. Yes, the gronk in the big hamster wheel. So this is the MRYCG, 24-hour live stream, which basically means that there's live streams throughout the day for a full 24 hours. So over on the MRYCG Facebook page, they've got a full list of everybody who's on, and it's basically taking a 1 hour slot a piece, so you can sit here and basically swap between different live streams, and hopefully nobody else will have the same issues that I just had this morning. It's typical, isn't it? You think you've got everything ready, and then computers go and do their thing. So, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Baker's Eye Junction, hi to you. MRYCG says, yay, here she is, no bunny ears for Easter. I'm afraid the bunny ears are upstairs with the computer that's stuck in a diagnostics loop. It's all been a bit fraught, as you can imagine. Josh's Railway Adventures, hi to you. Finnerton Central Model Railway says bloody ads. Yeah, but they keep the lights on. Martin, where's it's gone and done the Matador thing on the chat. Olé! Just as I was trying to read something. New Durham Junction Model Railway, Mark Wilson, Ben Tullett, UK X Greenie, Martin Searsma, hi to you as well. Baker's Eye Junction, Flint Hills Model Railway, Jeff Hammond, Moreland Model Railway, Andy, John Nutman, Benton Road Model Railway, Crossways Point Junction, Peter Carson, Upwell and Onward says good evening from New Zealand. Gosh, we're getting lots of Antipodean people in, which is really great. Flint Hills Model Railway, Jeff Hammond says, how's the cupboard says the cupboard money. Oh, cupboard money. Where is the cupboard money stash? No, the Cupboard Monkey swapped roles. Hopefully she's up. Actually, no, she probably isn't upstairs. But there's a really easy way of getting her to run on through, and that's to rummage through her stuff, and she will appear through the doorway any time now.
What are you doing?
So it's all right. I'm just rummaging in your drawers.
Leave Pikachu alone.
Oh no, I was rummaging.
Turn Pikachu around. Now he can't see out of the window.
Plastic.
Turn him around. Yes.
It's made of plastic. See, you may be slamming the drawer and it's gonna wobble.
You didn't move that Cessna, did you?
No, it slide. It look just you go and do.
You've been horrible and touching my things.
Do your make computer in loft work. Go on. You know you want to. Actually, just go and have a look and see what it's doing now. Yeah. I hope I haven't broken it because it's quite an expensive computer. Anyway, right. So, alright, MRYCG says wait till 9 PM with Vellybrooker and it will all go wrong. No, it'll be fine. Anyway, I'm just here. I'm just blazing a trail of all the things that could possibly go wrong so that it doesn't go wrong for anybody else. Crossways Point Junction will be on at 5 o'clock tonight. Finnerton Central Model Railway says, ooh, missus. Or should that be 00? Missus? John Nutman, hope all goes well with the live stream. I really do as well, actually, because what I was planning. Now, there was a plan. I know you find that hard to believe, but the plan was to have some lovely shots of actually having trains running round. I've got a whole new camera angle set up. I had a full host of trains on the track. I think we had 7 running at the same time. And then the computer it decided not to work. We tried to reboot it. Oh, the ballad of the computer. I think we've been here before. We don't get on well with technology here. Retro Mickey 82. Hi to you. Right, so basically we're going to have to wing it. So Iron Horse Heathen says, sorry folks, had to super glue the girlfriend's finger. Hi MRYCG and Jen. Although funnily enough, super glue was invented during the Vietnam War to stick people together out in the field, sort of like rather than having stitches. So it is conceivable actually. It's a good tip if you're out camping. A tube of super glue is really, really great for dealing with if you get a deep cut, because that's what super glue was invented for. You know, just to kind of stop your insides becoming outsides. Right, Ben Tullett says, play Hide the Pikachu. No, I can't. Upwell and Onward says, wonder what the live stream line-up is. Line-up? Oh, yeah, the line-up. I was thinking, what's your phone line doing weird things? Yeah, there is a live stream line-up. So, what we're going to do is, first up, I'm going to tell you who's coming up. Right. So, at some point... I will actually find the post. Just talk amongst yourselves. So let's see. Around the world in 24 hours, model railway live stream event. So I'm on through till 10, and then we've got from 10 to 11 Finneton Central with Brian Finn. 11 o'clock, it's New Durham Junction with Zara Mason and Craig Mason. After that, from 12, we've got Barnabas Junction with Jason Griffiths. Then 1300, we've got Dave Gilmore. 1400, Fifield Junction, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with Edward Smith. From 1500, it's Worley MRC with Andy Hudson. 1600, Benton Road Model Railway with Jack Carter. 1700, it's Crossways Point Junction, our very own Bernie Walker. 1800, Charlie McGowan's up, followed by 1900, Donegal Dad, a.k.a. Mark McDade. 8 o'clock, 2000, there's nobody up, so you've still got chance to be involved. There is a slot free. And then at 9 o'clock, 2100, that's 1600 Eastern Standard Time, Valleybrook Model Railway 2 with Stuart Bohe. And then rounding us off, we've got 2200, St. Peter's Layout, Thomas J. Gale. And 2300, the MRYCG end of event. Right, so basically, it's quite a busy day. And it's Easter Sunday, of course. So I hope you've all eaten your own body weight in chocolate. That's always a really great thing to do. Yes, the old chocolate coma. I know Valleybrook 2 Model Railway posted a picture of his chocolate stash. It did look really, really impressive this morning. But what I always say is, and this is something I've done since I was a child, because I used to have relatives that give me money for for Easter. They go and buy yourself an Easter egg. And shrewd me realised that if you went the day after Easter, all the Easter eggs were marked down in the shop, so you could get like 3 or 4 times as much stuff for the same money. Anyway, J. Paul Anderson is in the house. Hi to you. How are you doing? Retro Mickey 82 Pentullet says, Zoe, she hit it with a hammer again. I don't know. I see Game Hammer Classic Gaming, aka the Cupboard Monkey, is in the chat. So I don't actually know whether she's fixed the computer or whatever she's doing. But hey, Ben Davis says, hi Jennifer Kirk, did you pre-order the Titfield Thunderbolt 70th anniversary range 1-pack? Did you pick? I haven't actually ordered anything. I find that for a lot of things, ordering in advance is very dangerous. And as I'm just finding out yesterday, excuse me, my order for the South Eastern and Chatham Railway ventilated vans from Rails of Sheffield finally got picked. Now, you've got to remember, I ordered this about a year ago. In fact, just slightly more than a year ago. And, yeah, you forget. You forget how long it is. I've got so much stuff on pre-order. I've got an awful lot of the Hatton's Genesis coaches on pre-order. I've got there's a locomotive. What's the locomotive? A W1, a Hush Hush on order as well. Although I know that there's been a few issues with pre-orders getting fulfilled from a particular retailer who happens to be the same retailer that my W1 order is with. So we'll see if it turns up. But I buy far too much. Rails of Sheffield did a flash sale. They've been doing a flash sale actually every single day this over this weekend. So on Friday we had the Hellion Class 07 diesels. And the price they were at, it would have been rude not to, especially as one of the ones that they had up on special offer was actually one that I had in my basket, and I've been umming and ahhing. It's been going in and out of the basket for about 2 months. So when they dropped it to $89.50, I had to buy it, and actually it's sold out now. So even if they do another flash sale with those, the particular one I've just bought, it's sold out. But you know, it's like easy come, easy go. What else have we got of late? Well, I've filmed the Hellion Class 25 review. I bought one of those. Really great model, actually. And I know a lot of people have been speculating online, particularly on RM Web. It has to be said. Okay, let's name the guilty. RM Web, a lot of people discussing about that Hellion Class 25. And in all honesty with you, it's the body shape of that 25 is right. When you compare it to pictures, when you compare it to drawings, the dimensions of that body really are good. And when you compare it to the previous Bachmann model, you know, I don't want to take anything away from the previous Bachmann model. I always liked it. I still like it. I've got, you know, about 15 of those things. So they're not getting replaced anytime in a hurry. But the new Hellion Class 25 quite clearly is going to be the benchmark by which the retooled Bachmann 25 and also the Sutton Locomotive Works Class 25 gets compared to. But certainly really, really great model. It's actually noticeably lighter than the older Bachmann model, which does weigh a ton, it has to be said. But it doesn't seem to have compromised its haulage capacity, which is good. Iron Horse Heathen says, this isn't the Cupboard Monkey, it's a Chinese copy from eBay. It's a wardrobe gibbon. Funky gibbon. Actually, no, aren't gibbons the ones that when you go into the drive-through like Whipsnade Safari Park, they just sort of they sit on the car in front and just fling their poo at you. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says, I can confirm that my holiday from work is confirmed and finalised, so I'm 100% going to the MRYCG members meet now. Woo! Wardle Road, big hello to you. Who's on after Jenny? He says, I did read it out before and I've now closed down my phone, so I haven't been able to actually check that again, but I have read it out. Angus's Trains asks, what is the release date for the W1? Some 2021. I'm afraid that actually release dates at the moment do seem to be just like a wild stab in the dark. I think the W1 was supposed to be out sort of like February time this year. But in fact, you know, wasn't the W1 originally slated as sort of like ready for Christmas last year? But certainly, it's the case that it's just sort of sliding. We have seen decorated samples, so they can't be that far away. But yeah, essentially, I forgot what I was talking about. The W1. Ah, yes. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. But yeah, I'll know when I see it, to be honest with you. Right. Brockwell Lane says, I went for the Hellion Class 25 and love it. Yeah, completely with you. I've got 2 of them now. The Sutton Locomotive Works might be better, but I'm still waiting for the 24-1 from them. Yeah, and I did do a review video where I compared the Bachmann 24-1 to the Sutton Locomotive Works 24. Now, I actually said that the Sutton Locomotive Works 24 was really, really good. I had the audacity to say that the Bachmann 24 was also good, and he didn't like that. But yeah, so what? The thing is, it's a lot easier to get the Bachmann models and the Hellion models from multiple model shops. You can support your model shop of choice. Whereas I believe Sutton Locomotive Works, you have to buy direct. So, you know, you takes your money, you takes your choice. And yeah, they are great models. But I just don't get on with the guy. I've never met him, but he just didn't get on with me. But yeah, I've actually got a Sutton Locomotive Works model upstairs. It's on a long-term loan. Essentially, it got marooned here because of COVID, and it's waiting for Garthian to be able to come and visit. Really looking forward, actually, on the Monday Club to be able to, and I need to keep an eye on time. I will get in the groove and completely lose track of time, and I must not go over the person who's after me. Which I will bring that up again, actually, because I need to be able to big up and tell you exactly who it is you're actually going looking for after this. So effectively, once this stream finishes, you probably know the drill by now. You've done a few so far. What we need to do is for some reason that's a picture. Let me find the actual thing. You need to go and find the next stream and so on and so on. So let me just, for some reason I'm just getting pictures. Come on, give me the document. Right, so after me, we've got Finnerton Central, Brian Finn. So just so you know, might be worth getting up a tab in your window and being ready. So hopefully they've actually put up the thing so you can join the stream ready. But anyway, yes, meanwhile, back at the ranch, MRYCG says, blame the chocolate coma for sudden memory loss. Oh, chocolate. See, I like white chocolate. I'm told that is like evil and dirty, but I do like white chocolate. Anyway, yeah, we were talking about the 25. I do have my eye on more of them. I do really like the Salsa Type 2s. I've got a real thing for... I really love the class 24, 25, 26 and 27. I don't know what it is about them. If you ask me, like, why do you like these particular locomotives, I cannot tell you. Aesthetically, they are quite pleasing. Wardle Road, yes, if you go to the MRYCG Facebook group, you'll need to scroll around a bit and find, there is a list on there. There is a document, and it will look something similar to this that you can scroll through. And I think it's a picture at the top. Yeah, you're looking for that picture, and there's a big document attached to it, and it gives you a full list of who is on. Oh my word, Wardle Road, chocolate orange is my go-to. I know what you mean. Orange and chocolate work so well, and you think, I wonder if other citrus fruits work with chocolate. I've never seen lemon chocolate or grapefruit chocolate or lime chocolate. Never seen anything like that, but orange does work really, really well. What I will say to you is that orange white chocolate is amazing as well. Now, Terry's, it's not yours, it's Terry's. Terry's chocolate orange used to be available in white chocolate, and they called it a snowball, and that was amazing. But I can only conclude that I was the only person. Somebody says the sound's a bit low, so let's just turn that up a little bit. Of course, I'm sure you have volume at your end as well. So, you know, just in case anybody didn't realise we were being sponsored by Billy's Replacement Speakers. then I've turned it up a little bit. Although James Mottershead says lemon and white chocolate goes well. I must try that. Wardle Road says Tim keeps buying chocolate orange cheesecake and I can't stop eating it. Oh, what a hardship as you choke down that cheesecake. Oh my word, Iron Horse Heathen says lime chocolate. You've never had a chocolate lime? That sounds pretty naughty. I like that. Egg Rider says I put lemon essence in a chocolate fudge cake. Works really well. Oh my word. And Ben Tollett does remind us the schedule is also on the MRYCG website as well. Good morning to Poshington 01. MRYCG says that's a song in it. Take your money, take your choice. Oh, I feel like a new sofa. Yeah, they always used to say that the day that the DFS sofa sale ended was the four gunmen of the apocalypse would be in town. And you know what? DFS went bankrupt. And wasn't that about the time that COVID started to break out? You know, just saying, you know. Penelane TMD, good morning to you. It says, good morning, everyone. I hope today finds you all well. Egg Rider says, sees Candies in San Francisco also do a key lime pie chocolate truffle, which is awesome. Yes, right. Well, actually, that is... Oh, sorry. I just in a chocolatey moment. Brockwell Lane says any Acura scale Deltic news? Yes, a number of, and don't ask me because I don't know which particular ones are sold out. But the Acura scale Deltic Class 55s. Some of the models are already sold out and they haven't arrived in the UK. If you're worried like, oh, did I miss them? No, you haven't. They are imminent. I don't have a specific date. I know that things are getting stuck in customs for quite a while. It's just one of those things. I know that they had a 6-week delay on the, I think it was the JSAs stuck at customs. So, Game Hammer Classic Gaming says if the volume is right, okay, just mind that there's going to be a few weird noises. Right, there we go. So, oh god, I always like this when you have a microphone in view. It always makes me look like a professional. Although that's really weird actually having that right in my face. It feels like wearing an eye patch. Hello, I'm Long John Silver. Right, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Iron Horse Heathen says Jenny's brain has crashed with the thought of that chocolate pie. Yeah, chocolate pie. We're really getting with the Easter thing, because, you know, like, yeah, Jesus died for your sins, so you could just sit there and eat chocolate. Yeah, legit. When did the chocolate turn up in Easter? You know, when did Easter and chocolate become the thing? I don't know. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Lee D. Holden says, sorry, Zoe, only just got up from my insomnia last night. Nice to see Jenny's Trains on a Sunday. Thank you very much. Mark Wilson says, is it true that the Acura scale Deltic has more detail than the real thing? It's possible. Actually, no, it's not possible. But certainly... it's going to be what I think for a long time people are going to consider the definitive model. From what I've seen, I'm really looking forward to them. I believe that the delivery order we're looking at is the Class 55. Then we're going to have the Class 92. Then the 37s. Because I know a lot of people were talking about the 37s as if they were imminent. They're third in the queue, I understand, from talking with Fran at Acura scale. But other news in the model railway world. Southeastern and Chatham Railway ventilated vans. They call it 3D printing. Now, when I spoke to Oliver Davies at Rails about these, he said it's not strict. It's not like what you'd think where it's printing it layer by layer. It's done with a laser and a gel. And it kind of forms it in the gel, and it does and it's like magic happens. Magic. Anyway, it's a really space age thing. It's the same techniques that's used for making aeronautical grade parts for the aviation industry. So you can imagine that it really is quite an intricate process. It's not like just somebody sat in the back of rails with a printer chucking these things out. They've been finished by Daypol as well, so we've got a really high quality finish on a par with what you'd find on any other ready to run wagon. They've got metal wheels, proper couplings. They really are a great piece of kit. But we've been waiting for these for a long time. I know a few people were like, well, these were supposed to be here last April. Actually, part of the reason was the company that was making them turned over a lot of their production to making the little weird things that go behind your head, that when you've got those face masks on, they're like an ear protector. So the mask hooks onto this thing behind your head rather than pulling on your ears. So obviously, you can imagine nursing staff that got to wear these masks for most of the day. It just stops your ears from really hurting. So they've been doing that. Ben Davis says, did you see Rails' Happy Easter 2021 Easter wagon and a Henderson's Relish Strong and Northern wagon? I haven't ordered either of those. I must admit, I'm not normally into that kind of thing. And yes, I am aware that the Jenny Monday Club has commissioned its own Acura scale model in the form of the MDV coal wagon with the JK graffiti stencil logo on it. But that was actually by popular demand. So many people kept asking me on the Monday Club for a tie-in wagon that's why that came about. So I personally invested. I know a few people have tried to spread lies that somehow Rails of Sheffield, out of the goodness of their own heart, decided that they would license my logo. No, Rails of Sheffield are doing order fulfillment, which means that there's a cut of that money that is what they earn every time one sells. But it's me. They belong to me. I paid for the entire production run of those. And I'm not telling you the exact amount because they make you sign NDAs. But let's just say that a small budget family car could have been bought forecourt fresh for what a production run of wagons actually costs. So there you go. And they are actually selling really well. We've got somewhere over 50% of the entire production run is now sold out. So if you do want one of the Monday Club wagons, then do get your skates on. There is also going to be one for the US market by popular demand again. We're going to be looking at partnering up with a manufacturer in the US to bring the Jenny Monday Club logo to a wagon near you in HO scale is the plan. Although I believe that was it ON30 or something like that may be an option as well, just by virtue of the range of wagons that this company produces. But as soon as I know anything further, I will let you know. But also, what's going on? Let's have a look. Is there somebody's talking technical. Cupboard Monkey is talking technical in the stream. Oh dear. Melchester Model Railway, why is Jenny doing a Sunday morning live stream? Did I miss something? No, you didn't. This is the MRYCG 24-hour live stream event. So we've got people taking each hour through the day. So there is effectively 24 hours of live stream. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. There is 24 consecutive hours of live stream. And the way it works is it kind of channel hops between the different channels. So you can tune in and let me just, come on, show me the list. So coming up after me, we've got Finneton Central. So that is the YouTube channel that you'll be looking for. They're all hosted on people's own YouTube channels. But Finneton Central is up next with Brian Finn. And then, of course, we've got 11 o'clock, which is 0600 Eastern Standard Time. So I suspect that later on in the day, a lot of people over in the US might be starting to swing through. We've got New Durham Junction with Zara and Craig Mason. So, right, Brockwell Lane says, the real-life Deltic had a loo in one nose end. I believe that is true. So I'm hoping the sound version will emulate that. Maybe you could suggest it to your contact at Acura scale. They are actually pretty on the money with their research. Does that mean if it was only one loo? Because I'm just curious about that. Because that would mean that if you were travelling in the other direction, the driver is like, oh, I need the loo, or the second man. They'd have to walk through the engine room, and I can't imagine that the inside of the engine room of a Deltic at full chat on the East Coast Main Line would be particularly quiet. What's it? Ben Tullett says, Zoe has said you have ruined your computer upstairs. That's not good news. Upwell and Onward says, I'm 12 hours ahead, so the times confuse me a bit. You're 12 hours ahead, so hello from the past. Brockwell Lane says, 2-man crew. Yes, so basically they took it in turns to go and read the paper. That's a cushy job, really, when you think, why does it need 2 people to drive one of those things? How long does it take to do London to Edinburgh? And then when you think truck drivers don't go as 2-man crews, that's actually quite a cushy number. And you don't have to deal with traffic. Ben Tollett says, Zoe says you've ruined your computer upstairs. That is quite worrying. So just looking back, actually. How badly... interesting. Mark Wilson says, why did the early diesels have a second man? It was to do with the trade unions more than anything else. Because, of course, steam locomotive has a 2-man crew. Because you need a 2-man crew. Because you've got one bloke who's dealing with the fire. And the other bloke who's doing the driving. So, it's just the way it works. So, when diesel started to come in, then the unions, fearing that lots of people would be made redundant, pushed on some safety, that they still needed a 2-man crew. And actually, a lot of firemen really found it just boring, to say the least, because you weren't firing the locomotive anymore, so you were actually sat there making the tea for the driver. Brockwell Lane, absolutely right. Old firemen wanted a job on diesel. It's actually a lot more about the unions. And it's one of the reasons that the railways lost so much money. So I guess it was a case that short-term gain, long-term pain for the unions, because they ended up, it kind of fed into the likes of beaching, because the railways were losing money hand over fist. Upwell and Onward says, I say 4-man crews, there has to be a switch halfway. Yeah, and that's it. They didn't exactly drive for long. Although, back in the steam days, you could imagine, certainly from a fireman's perspective, it would be very physically arduous. So, having 2 firemen, and one of the reasons that the A4 Pacifics had the corridor tender connections was so that they could switch over, because the firemen would be exhausted. You could imagine that after a couple of hours of shoveling coal, you really would need to go and have a sit down. The Growler Blackwood Engage layout. Good morning to you. This freezing cold Easter Sunday, another day to work on the lower storage boards and catch up with live streams. Gamehammer Classic Gaming says computer is fixed. Woohoo! Oh wow! So there's not really enough time to switch back upstairs and give you your daily dose of vitamin train. But I am actually quite relieved at that. I thought I'd broken it, and I hate computers. Don't like change. Iron Horse Heathen. While we're on it, did Deltics ever do pick up goods trains and freight? Now I have seen photographs of Deltics pulling freight trains. I believe it was a very, very rare thing. I've seen photos of A4 Pacifics on freight trains as well, but again, not the usual. But yeah, lots of there was, yes, the computer is fixed, and there was much rejoicing. So tomorrow is Monday. Yes, it is. So tomorrow's Monday Club from 7 p.m. UK time, which is GMT +1. I'm afraid if you're in another overseas time zone, you'll have to kind of work all that out. I really can't get my head around a lot of time zones. But yes, so we're on from 7 till 9, and hopefully we will be up and running. All of the trains will be running. Upwell and onwards, Jenny, both driver and fireman switched out with a fresh crew halfway on the run. As for the driver, the vibrations from the loco and the bucket seats of an A4 would wear a man out. Yeah, you'd think actually a better seat or better suspension would be good all round. Roof Railways asks, who's next? So up next we have Finnerton Central. And for those of you not familiar with Brian Finn's channel, it's spelt Finnerton and then Central. They're up straight after me from 11 o'clock. Although, strangely enough, what time is it? 9:44. Oh, no, sorry, I just had a brain fart. So that's from 10 o'clock. I may have said 11. That's from 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, oh, for a moment there, I thought I was crashing somebody else's slot. But yeah, it's Brian Finn with Finnerton Central is up next. Right, okay, other news that's going on. Of course, we had the Rapido announcements on the 1st of April. I think there was a bit of a clever joke going on there, which Hornby went, oh, you having a joke, are you? Oh. And the story behind that, from what I've read, is that Rapido Trains got the license and then were informed that another company had inquired about getting the license and been knocked back. That company, we are assuming, is Hornby, because the circumstances do meet up. But effectively, Hornby then announced that they were doing the Lion, so it kind of forced Rapido's hand. And I suspect that if that hadn't been the case, Rapido would have announced much closer to the 2023 date. Unfortunately, their hands been kind of twisted. So that is why we're seeing the announcement when a lot of things are still just at the CAD or research stage. But I was thinking, actually, from the Rapido announcements, the Laureate Y, I think, is a sleeper hit, as is the Wisbech and Upwell coach. Now, what you've got to remember as well, that's actually really good joined up thinking from Rapido, because they've already done the J70 tram locomotive for model rail, and so there's a lot of pent up market out there for that coach sold standalone to go with that model. Now, as far as I'm aware, Model Rail didn't commission one in Great Eastern Railway livery, so I could well believe that a deal would be struck to do a pack maybe further on down the line with a J70 in Great Eastern Railway livery and the Wisbech and Upwell coach in Great Eastern Railway livery. If they haven't thought of that, then you're welcome, Rapido. I will actually mention that to Andrew Hardy, because I think it would be a great selling pack, a really good opportunity to get a bit more mileage out of the J70, the J70 tooling. Gary Lewis says, good morning, Jenny and Zoe. Hope you've been munching on plenty of Easter eggs. I've ordered a JK wagon from Rails. Thank you ever so much. It's without you guys' support, we couldn't really make this happen. And also, I should probably name check all of the companies that have really, really been great to work with in helping to keep the Monday Club and the Jenny Kirk channel on air. So a big thank you, of course, to Scale Model Scenery, who've been sponsoring the Monday Club live streams. Also Trainomatic. Without their great support, we really couldn't have grown to where we are now. DCC Concepts as well. We're just sorting out an in association with DCC Concepts thing going forward from next week. So really looking forward to that. And also War World Scenics as well. All of the static grass that I do is done using War World Scenics products and static grass applicators and scatters. Even the trees, I did a lot of videos with. It's really easy, actually, I have to say. Don't let anybody who's trying to be some kind of ivory tower gatekeeper put you off but making trees out of sea foam or sea moss, which is a product, I buy mine through Gauge Master. But I know that I think Noch, a few other companies as well do so. You can actually grow it, apparently. I've never tried, but you can. It's very, very, it's natural product as well, which is really good for the environment. But that plus Warworld Scenic scatters and layering spray, it's really easy to make really effective, high quality, ultra realistic trees. And when you work out the price per tree, there's no comparison. They're cheaper even than those bog brush trees that you can get. Yeah, the sort of cheap ones. I call them bog brush trees because they're kind of like in the shape of a bog brush. Brockwell Lane says, Hattons do own the moulds for the XDJ 14XX. So I'm hoping they do some more, including 1401, black with early crest. Can't be a license on a loco number. No, and I'm sure that if they kind of got together with Rapido and Studio Canal, they could probably bring something out at the same time as part of the package deal. Would be quite nice. And I know a lot of people slated the DJM 14XX. I get the impression that they were kind of a bit of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type locomotive. They looked fine, but the mechanism underneath, when it worked really well. When it didn't work really well, it didn't. I don't actually have a DJM stroke Hattons Class 14XX. What I will say is they did all sell out. So take from that what you will. Right, Railnut3278 says, Hi Jenny, just joined the chat. Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. And also a big thank you to everybody who's supporting the JK members, Acura Scale Wagon through Rails of Sheffield. And a big thank you as well, Rails of Sheffield. I was going through all the people who supported the channel. Rails of Sheffield have been an immense support to the channel as well, as have Hattons too. Also, Arcadia Models, Tim over there. Big up Tim and the Arcadia posse. It's always been great to go over there, and it's always got a cup of tea on the go for you when you go and visit. It's actually, it's been annoying over the last year. There's been so many model shops just haven't been able to get to. And it's to take us back to, I know we're still talking, Derek Pensome says, I have 225s. One from the Model Centre, and that Model Centre Special Commission, I think it's 25102. The last 25 to survive in two-tone green, but with the tops number. That is actually, I know when I interviewed Ben Jones from Hellion, he said that was actually his personal favourite livery. So they are really good. But I will be getting more Class 25s. But it's going right back to the beginning of the stream. We're talking about that versus the Sutton Locomotive Works one. The one thing you've got to remember about the Hellion Class 25, and for that matter the Bachmann one as well that's coming through fully retooled, is that when you're buying that, you can buy that very, very easily through your local model shop and support your local model shop, which you, with SLW, Sutton Locomotive Works, you're buying direct, so you're only really helping one person and their company out. So, or let me just deal with that. Let me show that. For some reason, it's it put that in the moderator queue. Les Cliff, big hello to you, Les. How are you doing? Says, need to find a model shop of note in the Whittick area. What I will say to you is you're not far from New Junction, aka Richard Watson. So I would suggest that what you need to do is speak to him because he does know the local area. There's a shop in Nottingham, or at least there was it GD Models? It's been a long, long time. So there will be shops somewhere. There's the Tutbury Ginny. I think there's a shop in Derby as well. So they are out there. Ben Tullett, shout out to Hereford Models and TMC for new old stock. Of course, yes. And don't forget, you can go and check out those videos that I did highlighting new old stock. Now, for those of you not familiar, new old stock is what it says. It's brand new, older stock. So it's where a model has been on the shelf of a model shop for a number of years. And because of inflation of prices, what's actually happening is even though it may even be at the RRP of 5 or 10 years ago. But the RRP of 5 or 10 years ago is a fraction of what the current RRP is. And what I've been trying to do with these videos is find shops that has got a lot of really great bargains in stock, that's new old stock. Still high quality models, and quite often, in a lot of cases, they are models that are still in, for example, the Bachmann range, but with a much higher RRP. Different identity, higher RRP, same model. And we did Hereford Model Centre, and I did all these as mystery shoppers. So the shops were not involved. This wasn't about promoting the shops. This was about helping the enthusiast, the modeler, find sources of really great priced models. And actually we sold out a lot of Hereford Model Centre stock. I actually got an email from them thanking me for making their mail order go wild. We also found a lot of stuff at TMC. Now I'm still on the lookout. I am going to keep looking for you guys for other shops that have new old stock and highlight stuff for you. So do stay tuned for that. Upwell and Onwards says it would be the cab of 1870s New Zealand. Oh, you're answering somebody else. K-Car's pretty exposed to the elements, but I can happily say the tender rides smoother than a coach. Interesting. Les Cliff is doing well, says hello to everyone. I really do miss you, Les. You're going to have to get up here for a Monday club at some point. You know, we got a spare room you can stay over in as soon as lockdown ends. Patrick Furlong says hello, Jenny and Zoe, if she's there. She is somewhere. She's just fixed my computer, so she's probably in the bath. Sam Yates says I got a DCC fitted schools for 90ish quid from Hereford. Thanks to your tip, Jenny. Woohoo! Yes, definitely. And there's also Blundell's, I think it was, is the BR Black full super detail schools class. I bought one of them for about £80. Although it's DCC ready rather than DCC fitted. But I had a deal with a DCC decoder manufacturer. It worked out right for me. Somebody asked about a discount from I would get into a lot of trouble, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's Richard Brighton you'll have to sweet talk, not me. I am not authorised to give discounts. I really start on Tuesday. But yeah, so if you once the shop does open up, you'll be able to see me at DCC Concepts. This YouTube channel will be continuing as standard and independently. So this channel is not going to become just a outpost of DCC Concepts. But I will be doing a lot of stuff for DCC Concepts on their YouTube channel. Gary Lewis says, I have a Hatton's DJM light weathered 48XX. This is one of the 040 auto tanks and it runs very well. Not had issues with the Loco. Yeah, like I said, from what I can gather, and I don't have one, is that from what I've heard from people, is they're a bit Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in that some people, they're fantastic models, and a few people have had some horrendous stories of woe. But I'm sure in another production run that they will be sorted. So I actually do hope that Hatton's put out another production run of those. But, you know, watch this space. But gosh, this hour has gone ever so quick. Ben Tullett says, oh, this is going back to the trees. I have seen these trees being made at the shows by Tree Menders guys who produce really good trees, both in kit and ready to place trees. Yeah. Check out my video on how to make trees using the sea foam or seagrass or sea moss, whatever it gets called. I buy mine from Gauge Master. You can get it from other companies as well. You can even grow it. I use exclusively War World Scenics scatters and static grass layering spray. Per tree, they work out cheaper than the cheap like bog brush type trees. And yet they look ultra realistic. Really do have a go. You won't be disappointed. It's such an easy modelling venture. A lot of people saying, yeah, Upwell and Onwards, their Hatton's 14XX runs really well. But Brockwell Lane I had a DJ 14XX that got dry and started running badly. It sounded like the gears had broken, but it was an easy fix with a little oil. Yeah, quite often a lot of locomotives are like that. Certainly back in the day, some locomotives were like that. Penna Lane TMD says, catch you all later. I'm off for dialysis now. Look, you take care and best of luck with that. And don't forget, everybody, you can tune in to me next at 7 o'clock tomorrow UK time. That will be the Jenny Monday Club. But up next, retune your dial to Finnerton Central with Brian Finn is next up on the MRYCG stream. So I do wish Brian well. Do go and find his channel. You will find it. Do a search on YouTube for Finnerton Central. That's spelled F-I-N-N-E-R-T-O-N. If somebody has a Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase has got their that up there. So start to move over now. It's been great having your company, and say hi to Brian for me. And all through the day we've got live streams coming up. But from me on this MRYCG special Sunday 24 hours of live stream, thanks for tuning in. You take care. This is me, Jenny Kirk, saying bye for now. I'm just going to wait for the clock to roll over to 10, but you guys need to start moving over to Finnerton Central. Finnerton Central, next stop on the MRYCG 24 hours of live stream. Gamerhammer Classic Gaming has put up the link. Follow that link. Do go to the next stream. This stream will be closing down in a moment. Finnerton Central, next stop. You all take care. Bye for now.